What's up, everybody? Jerrett here to bring you some exciting news. No doubt you've heard it yourself that The Last of Us is getting an HBO TV show adaptation, which I am obviously over the moon about and super excited. The Hollywood Reporter broke the news first. This is by Boris Kitt and Patrick Shanley on March 5th from The Hollywood Reporter. The Last of Us series in the works at HBO from Chernobyl creator Craig Mazin, Neil Druckmann. So this is awesome because, for one, Neil Druckmann's involved. And he, being able to create one of the creators of The Last of Us and the writer of The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2 and all this, there's obviously means that he's going to be working closely to make sure that the story and the setting and the world feels like The Last of Us, which is what I'm very excited about. But why is Craig Mazin being a part of it also exciting? Because of how well the show Chernobyl was received, which, granted, while Chernobyl is a real world event and took place, you know, in recent history, it was a massive disaster, and being able to bring that and translate that into film, I feel like he has a very great experience in that area. And so I think that is going to have just that pairing together of those two working on the show is going to be incredible. It goes on to say in this Hollywood Reporter article that Carolyn Strauss will also executive produce alongside Evan Wells, the president of Naughty Dog. So it's appears to be a cohesive joint effort between Naughty Dog and HBO to bring this show together. Now, IGN also then followed up in an article by Matt Kim that this HBO TV series will replace the Last of Us movie that was pitched back in 2014. So, of the two choices, am I more excited for the movie or the TV show? I'd have to say TV show. The TV shows tend to be better at adapting this. Take, for example, well, not necessarily adapting a video game per se, but just it allows for way more exploration and depth than what you can get in a 2.5 hour long movie. And let's be honest, Last of Us would probably sit closer around the hour 45, maybe 2 hours. So getting a full show, granted, we don't know how long it is, but HBO's shows typically are in the 8 to 10 episode range. So getting 8 to 10 hours and possible multiple seasons of Last of Us content is super exciting because you're going to be able to really go in, build out this world, build out these characters, and really give us a fascinating treat into what this world would look like on TV. So the next question, though, that I have is this going to still follow Joel and Ellie, or is it going to be separate from their storyline? And I think that this could really benefit from going in the way of The Walking Dead and having it be a separate story set in the same universe. But because The Last of Us was such an amazing game, for those of you who don't know, The Last of Us is my favorite game of all time. And that is the one that just really showed the connection and the storytelling to me that video games can have, and really brought that to the forefront for me. And so that story is so special to me. So it's one of those things of, yes, they could just tell that story again, but we've heard that story. And would you be able to tell it better? I don't know. And honestly, I don't know if I would want that story messed with. So I'm personally of the camp of, I would like to see it take place in a separate storyline. But what if they did it where, say, it explores Tommy and what he was doing in between from the time you first see him at the beginning of The Last of Us to when you run into his story connects with Joel and Ellie's journey? That would be pretty interesting. You could do the same with Bill, Tess, even. There's so many different characters that you could do that then you could loop into the overarching storylines of The Last of Us. So I think that having that would be a potentially way to go. So it's not totally disconnected. It's kind of like The Walking Dead and its spinoffs, like Fear the Walking Dead. The character Morgan from The Walking Dead eventually winds up in Fear the Walking Dead. So you could have that kind of thing where the characters show up and appear. The other thing that I think would be really cool, and another potential way, granted we don't know how Last of Us Part 2 is going to end, so this could put a kink in it depending on how that storyline ends, but having the series pick up with Ellie's story, because we don't know if we'll get a Last of Us Part 3. The Last of Us Part 2 was honestly kind of a shock that we were going to get that, because it, to me, was such a well self-contained game. Didn't necessarily make me feel like it needed a Part 2. But we're getting Part 2, and I'm super excited. So I think potentially taking over and having Ellie's story continue in this HBO series would be pretty awesome and pretty exciting. But regardless of the fact, I'm super excited about this. I am jazzed and just... I've been on cloud nine since this news was announced, because just getting more Last of Us and having more experiences in that world is going to be great. It's kind of like Star Wars to me. It's like, yeah, I just want it. I'm excited. And even if they do decide to take on to take on the story and retell the story of the games for TV. I'll be excited for that too. But I just might have a little bit closer of an analysis of each episode. But anyway, super excited to see where this goes. Hopefully we get more information on like a potential release date, but obviously this is just the announcement. So I'm expecting this is still a couple years down the road, but still super excited. Can't wait to learn more about this upcoming Last of Us TV show. And of course, we'll talk about it with you here on Team Chat Podcast. Thanks for watching, everybody.